Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have what I think is just a lovely looking Tissot. This is part of their Open Heart series. There is also a black model of this available, and I think the name is Chemin de Tourelles. Tourelles? Something like that. I cannot pronounce it correctly, I'm really sorry. But basically the name comes from, I believe it's the street where the Tissot factory was first formed, I think it was. So yeah, a little bit of background's always nice there. But overall, it's just I love these kind of watches. I love a good skeleton watch where you can actually read the time properly on it, but yet you can still find all the little quirks on how a watch movement actually works. That's what I think is really nice. When you see a good quality kind of skeleton movement, what I mean by that, a lot of this is machined away so you can see into the heart of a watch. But before I get too far into this review, I've got to say a massive thank you to the team over at First Class Watches of Kenilworth for allowing me to review this. They've been so good to me. Really nice, friendly staff. Well worth popping in if you're in the Midlands area. If you're a little bit further afield, well, don't worry, I'll leave a link in the description below and at the bottom of the page. All I ask is you do mention the channel's name if you contact them. So anyway, let's talk sizes first. It's a 39mm case size. The thickness of the watch I'm measuring at 11.5mm, and the lug to lug is, got to remember now, 43.7, and the strap size is 20mm. Now, let's have a look at that dial, because let's face it, it is just, I really like this kind of watch. I like the fact that you can see all the kind of ins and out actually of the watch. The dial itself, what do we actually have? Well, as I say, we don't really have a dial as such. We have the main plate there. We have this kind of chapter ring, I guess you'd call it, coming around here with this kind of ivory sunburst effect on it. I love this little kind of inner ring there with the Swiss made. It's just really nice how they've done it. I think there must be an acrylic piece on top because you do have the Tissot name going across there. And then you've got these nice little battens and the little dots, and how they've done it is just really, really nice. It's a real clean, elegant watch, but yet there's so much more to it, because you look at this dial and you just see all this straight line brushing of the movement. You see the jewels. These hands, I like the way they catch the light, because there is a bit, you know, they're actually chamfered down the middle, and so one side will catch light while the other side's in shadow, and it just gives a nice kind of again, even more depth to what, you know, like I would say to the dial, but yeah, let's face it, there isn't one. But yeah, it gives more depth to watch, and then you have this big long second hand coming out there. It just looks really cool. Now, obviously, as we look at that, you can actually get to see the movement. This is one of those watches where you almost don't need a power reserve, because you can tell by the spring there if it's fully wound up or not. Because the more I wind it, the more that spring should coil up in the center. And eventually, as you keep winding it, it will slip. That is what an automatic watch does to stop you from, you know, stop the rotor from the back actually overwinding the watch. So it's little details like that are really good. You can see here the actual minute wheel as it holds on there. It's just so good. What's cool is when you look at the, can I zoom? Right, that's probably zoom. You can actually see here, this part here, that's actually part of the keyless works. So as I pull the crown out, can I just get it to go? Will you see it on camera? You can just see that flick back and forth. And that is just really nice, part of the setting lever. So it's all kind of bits you can actually see how a watch works. You can see the jewels. I often talk about the jewels of a watch, how many they have. And these are the jewels here. You can see them. And that's the shock setting, the end stone for the balance. So nice little details. Now, obviously on the outside of this, we have a beautiful sapphire domed crystal with AR coating. It's just ever so nicely done. The bezel itself is a beautiful polished bezel. The actual case of the watch, you have this straight line brushing coming down here, and then this really aggressive kind of chamfer. Can we see it? There we go. And then you get this chamfer kind of coming in there, and it's just so well done. You have a break between the brushwork and the polish work there. The lugs curve down so elegantly. And as we come to this side, you can see we just have a signed crown. And as we've shown, it isn't a screw down crown. The watch does feature water resistance, but albeit 50 meters. Let's face it, being that this is on a leather strap, you wouldn't want to get near water anyway. As we come round to the back of the watch here, we have the view of another view from a different way, different side of the movement. You can see the rotor there with the Tissot on there. You can see the reverse wheels there, the balance. And it is just, I like it. I like the fact that you can actually see through the whole movement there. You can actually see my hand through there. So it is kind of just a real nice touch. The movement itself is, I believe they call it, well, it's a Powermatic 80, but basically it's really a CO 7631. Now, the 6 is quite an important thing there, because the 6 signifies this has a regular escapement. Now, the escapement, I believe you can see it ever so slightly from the front there. This small wheel ticking round there is your escape wheel, and you can see the one part of the pallet fork just engaging with it. If this was the lower class movement, it would actually have a plastic escapement there, both fork and wheel. So a big difference. This one is just much more easier to clean, service and work on. I put it on with Timegrapher. Now, this is a bit interesting because they do say this watch has got high levels of anti-magnetic properties, or what they should say is the mainspring, the balance spring does. But when I first put it on the Timegrapher, I was getting +5, which is, don't get me wrong, perfectly good reading for any watch. But after I demagged it a few times, it went down to +3. So, just remember, that's not the only part of a watch which can pick up magnetism. The rest of it, remember, is all steel and brass. So anyway, but it's a 25 joule movement with up to 80 hours of power, but they do that by slowing this down to 6 beats per second, a little bit like the 6R or 4R Seiko movements versus 8 beats of other watches. Now, the strap itself is a kind of nice sort of like suede looks strap. It's got a nice kind of feel to it, to be fair, though I do believe you can get it on other straps. It does have quick is it zooming? There you go. It does have quick release also on the ends of a strap there, so it's easy to swap out. And you do get this clasp system here, fold out butterfly type. So I'll put it in there and I'll put it on the wrist so you got an idea how it looks. I'll put it here for now, just guess where it is. It is, I should point out, it is signed up there. Quick wrist check. I'm wearing a Zin 556. Let's zoom out to get a better view there. And Bob has the brand new Veneziale Nardi tungsten with blue mother of pearl dial. It's actually very nice, that one. Let me quickly put this on. Say my wrist size 7¼ inches, roughly equates to 18.5 centimeters. Now, I won't do it up properly, he says. There we go, that's it. And that's it on my wrist. I think, honestly, I think it's quite a nice, good looking watch. It's just one of those kind of honest watches. If I had my choice though, the black PVD one they do, I've got a feeling could be a real strong looker. It's available, I believe, at, I think the price is just under 800. I think you can pick it up for, or around about that price anyway. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you to it at that. Any questions, let us know in the comments, and stay safe up there. Take care. Bye.